Welcome to Fredericksburg Mission, a podcast talking all things mental health and wellness in the Burgh. Brought to you by...
How do you shorten the time it takes to buy a car? Car buying just got easier. Pohanka365.com lets you complete as much or as little of the car buying process online. Pohanka365.com. Car buying simplified. Anytime, anywhere.
Welcome to Fredericksburg Mission Podcast. My name is Angela Rivers, and today I am here with Crystal Vessels, the owner and CEO, founder of Unmasked, Inc. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have you, and especially this month in October as we celebrate domestic violence awareness.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so let's begin today's podcast by letting our listeners know, what is Unmasked?
Unmasked is a nonprofit organization that we have in the area. We assist victims of domestic violence and underprivileged kids in the community. But also with anybody that's going through any types of hardships, we try to assist with it.
And are they called victims? I when we were prepping for this, I asked, I've heard they can also be called survivors. What do you call them?
I call them human.
Okay.
Everyone goes through something. Putting a title on them as being a victim makes it harder for them to come out of their situations. So I'd rather not just call them victims, I just call them human. Everyone makes mistakes.
It's true. And with Unmasked, are you able to help them come out of situations?
We assist them with the things that they need on their day-to-day to get where they need to go. We don't house them, but we do try to help them and refer them to outsourced bases to help, like Empower House, or help them with Empower House. But we assist with like their clothing, their day-to-day needs, hygiene items, help them with resumes to get back into the real world.
Yeah. And is it hard for them to readjust back into the real world?
Yeah. It's been something tragic, so it takes them a lot. Even though they may say no, they got it, but it's still mentally, it's a lot for them to deal with.
Are they able to get a job? Is it put on their record?
It's not put on their record, but no, yes, they can get jobs. Some are hiding. Some can't go out to day-to-day places like everybody else would be able to do because they're transitioning from going through something drastic at home. So some people are, again, hiding. Some people are transitioning to be able to go into the real world. So we try to help the ones that are transitioning to go back out. So we try to help their feeding, their clothes, and stuff like that.
Yeah. And why did you start the organization?
We've been doing a lot of give back since we were younger anyway. So my family has always brought people into the house and helped them through different situations. So it was easy to kind of transition over when I was in the salon, because I do hair.
I learned that before we did this.
Yeah. So sitting behind the chair, you hear a lot of different stories. And I had some clients that, was going through some things, but I had one specific client that was really going through it. And it just made me want to do more. I knew we could always do something, but I wanted to do more. Yeah. So.
Do you think about her? Do you
I talk to her? She's amazing. She's doing
Wow.
great. She's not in the area anymore, but we stay close. But she is amazing.
And how long ago was that? When did you start?
It's probably been about 15 years when she was going through that story because her kids were young. She had two kids. And I used to always help with the kids and do their hair and do stuff with them as well. But just watching them go through what they had to go through too. So it's not just the person. It's like, their family.
Yeah.
Like it can be like their brothers or sister, but their kids are in their house. Like kids went through stuff too. Yeah. So we had to like follow her home and, keep the kids while she was doing different things. And she just went through a whole lot. And just watching her go through what she went through and people not being able to help her the way they needed to help her and not being able to do the things that she thought they would be able to protect her. And it was just a lot for her.
Are there a lot of stigmas about, when somebody is a victim, as they go through the, notifying the police or trying to escape or trying not to escape? Are there stigmas around that?
It is. Each person is different. So you have to kind of work what's going to be best for you. I'm a gut person, so you have to kind of follow your gut and do what's best for you. It's easy for us to say, just leave. It's easy for us to say, you got this, you know what I'm saying? We'll be here for you, but you're not the person dealing with it on a day-to-day. Right. So each person has their own struggle. So if they have their kids, they have the people behind them, they have their jobs. And it's not just because they're like low income or poverty based. There are some of the richest people that are dealing with it every day.
It's true.
And they cover it and mask it greatly.
Yeah. And how do you put the wall up too so you don't get too attached to some of these?
I'm different. I do get attached to stuff like that very easily, but I do know how to cipher through.
Yeah.
But I always just build relationships. I'm that person that I'll talk to you about whatever, and I can have your back 100%. But I do try to stay consistent, and that's my biggest thing: stay consistent. You can't go into nobody's life and just leave them like that, because it makes it worse.
It does.
So it makes their transition into trying to do better, whether it's a victim of domestic violence or a human to domestic violence or a survivor or just somebody going through something. It just makes it hard for them.
And it's not just women and children.
No.
It's also men.
Males go through it a lot more than people they would say.
Really?
Just like it is when it comes to like people that are high profile. They don't want nobody to know their story.
It's true.
You don't know what goes on. When they hit home, you have no clue what goes on with them.
Yeah. But you would think that high profile people, once they survive, they would want to tell their story to empower.
No.
No?
You got the embarrassment.
But it shouldn't be embarrassing, right?
No, but like I said, they're human.
Yeah. It's true.
They're human, so they gonna feel that just like everybody else would. They're human. Granted, it's not your fault. There's nothing you can do. They think, oh, I should have did something different. Maybe it was me, or I should have did differently. You know what I'm saying? But I stayed for the kids, or anything like that. So again, they're human.
Yeah. And how do you? I mean, what kinds of trauma do you see? I mean, not just trauma from exposure, but like the aftermath too.
You have a lot of people that go to depression. Their mental is very distraught. They have a hard time going back out to do different things. It's hard for some people to just walk in a store. It's hard for them to do day-to-day things. It's hard for them to go back to dating or to get their life back. It's hard for them to just get control of themselves. And then they don't know how to love themselves and they don't know what to expect. And some people just stay into that rut of staying in those positions of keep gravitating to abusive relationships because that's what feels right.
That's all they know. Yeah.
It's what feels right.
Yeah. I think I shared this with you. I was a victim and now survivor. And I fell into that trap where it was the same type of person until my girlfriend introduced me to my husband and said, it's time you meet a nice man.
Yeah.
But before that, it was all abuse.
It was abuse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily they have to be beaten on you.
No.
It could be mental.
Yeah.
It's, it's verbal. It could be things that, just diminishing you to how they talk to you. Talking about all the negative and the things that you should be doing or could be doing. Yeah. So it really plays a part on you.
Yeah. And that's what I saw at home. I mean, do you see statistics around, if you are a daughter or a son and you're a mother or a father, you've seen that in the home, then that person goes on to do the same thing?
Some people do. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Each person is individual. Again, everyone's human.
I know.
Everybody's human, so they're going to do what, just like somebody, if they see somebody doing drugs all their life, don't necessarily mean you can go out and do drugs.
It's true.
So it's how you deal with yourself and how you deal with it. So if you want different for you, you do different for you.
I know. It's hard though,
It is hard. So it's your choice. Yeah. It's not like I can't tell you how to maintain or how to live your life. Or just because
you should.
Do better. But that's all I can tell you is do better.
Sometimes we all need that.
But again, like I said, it's, everyone's human. You know what I'm saying? They're going to make the mistakes. They're going to go through the trials.
Yeah.
I mean, you would hope that person that sees it do differently. But that's not necessarily true.
It's true. And then do you work with the same types of, like, if you need clothing, how do you get that clothing? How do you get the services for?
So we get a lot of donations. We're in that process of right now. I do not get grants. Everything is through fundraising, which COVID kind of put a damper on some things, but it did not stop us. It just made us move differently.
Yeah.
But we are in the process of trying to do grants by the end of the year. But right now we just kind of put it out to the public or we ask people. I've been doing hair for so long. My clients was always amazing. Yeah. And I'm big on my word, and I do a lot of stuff in the community as far as like, doing hair for other people or doing videos. So when I started, I just reached out and was like, hey, I need you now. I didn't charge you before, so I don't throw it back at you, but that's how it came out. I was like, this is what I need.
And that's what this community, I feel, is all about, especially in, Fredericksburg, Spassy, Stafford. I'm from Northern Virginia, and I never felt that sense of community up there at all, because everyone's just in their own way.
In their own space.
And trying to get out of everybody else's way. But here, everybody's willing to lend a hand. Yeah. And everybody knows everyone, too, which is a blessing and a curse. Right. Yeah. But if you don't know that person, maybe somebody else does that has that service for you.
And you just have to reach out. Either all they can tell you is no.
I know. And that's so hard for people. I'll go up and ask people all the time for things, They just can tell me no. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's not
and I
for
get told
everyone.
no a lot.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's
I'll
okay.
ask again.
Yeah.
Until I get on your nerves.
I'm quite persistent.
I'll get on your nerves and you're like, just give it to her so she can go about her business. But like I said, if I reached out, like last year for Christmas, we did over 500 kids for Christmas. Normally our go-to is about 250.
Yeah.
I just put it on social media. I was like, hey, look, I got kids.
Yeah.
And I just kept putting it out there and people would just, and they just kept coming. And we were still getting more kids and we were still getting more kids. But people were taking them.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like, a Barbie doll. We was getting like bags of items for each kid. So
and that's
you just
great
ask. All you can do is ask. And then I have business that are in the area that do donate. People that have been like really loyal to what we do.
Yeah.
And I always tell people, I appreciate the donations, but if I can get you to believe in what we're doing, then you will gravitate to tell more people. So that just makes it a little bit easier for us. So for us, it works. I can't say it will work for everybody else, but and I try to stay very transparent with it. So I try to post pictures when I can. I suck at it, but I do my best. But I try to let people know what we're doing so they can see it. But some things I can't show you.
Right, of course.
So I don't show you, but you know what I'm saying? I kind of, we know we do it.
Yeah.
So it's a
I
trusted.
follow. I was seeing all the bags packed last night.
Yesterday was packing for the homeless. So
Yeah.
we'll go back tomorrow and finish. But
Yeah, but you do a lot in the community, and
yeah, we try. Do
Yeah.
our part.
yeah,
That's it. That's our part. Nobody else's.
yeah. How has COVID put a damper on things in general?
COVID tried it. It did not succeed, so we did not let it win. Honestly, we've been able to do more during COVID than we did prior.
Really?
And I was that person where I used to come out of pocket a lot for a lot of things.
Because you have the heart.
And if
you
it
want
needed to
it
be
to
done,
work.
it'll get
Yep.
done. So that's kind of what we were doing. And it just came to like, we couldn't keep doing it that way. So I went from working like 5 days to 2 days. And, being in the salon, everything got kind of condensed in. But it works. We still haven't been without. The families have not been without. And we've done even more. And we had different organizations and different people that have reached out to help. So as long as we can keep putting it out,
Yeah.
we just keep doing it.
And how do you promote it?
Yes, I'm nervous behind screens, but I'm a talker.
You are a talker.
I'm a talker,
That's how we
and I
met.
love what I do. Right.
Yeah.
So I love what I do.
And it shows.
So I just keep going forward.
Yeah.
So they told me I had to start to do more things out in public. So it is what it is. We do it.
Yeah. And that's how we met at the Black
It
Business
is.
Expo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we love to laugh and love to joke. So it's pretty easy.
And how was that expo for you? Did you get a lot of traction?
It was amazing. So we didn't sell a lot of items, but we met a lot of good people. You were one. You was our neighbor.
Thank you.
You were our neighbor.
Vice versa.
So but yeah, it just gave us a chance to put out who we were.
Yeah.
And we also started to collect names, and people pledged to be sponsors for our kids for Christmas.
Yep, I'm excited
So,
about
yeah.
that.
That was the Virginia Black Business Directory.
Yeah.
And they were amazing. They always have been. They always donate.
It's a great expo.
Yes, they did amazing.
Yeah.
First year they did it in the Fredericksburg Center, the agriculture side, where they do the state fair or something.
Yeah.
They did it out there, and it was full. And this year they were way past
packed.
capacity.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I don't know what's held for next year, but I'm sure bigger and better.
Oh, of course. Have you seen more victims during COVID as well?
We've seen more victims during COVID. We've had a lot of kids going through things during COVID. So I know I always drift back to the kids. The kids are kind of my thing.
Yeah.
I love the babies. So we had a lot of kids going through a lot of different things. But yes, we did have a lot of victims. People going through things because then you have your finances cut. So you have more things and you're captive. You're in your house. You can't go nowhere.
Yeah.
So you have all of that intensity just in your house. So people are getting mad. People are getting upset. People are getting frustrated. You can't go outside. You can't do what you normally do. So
And how scary though.
who else you take it out on?
Yeah.
Besides the people that you love and they're in your house. You can't go nowhere.
I know.
Kids couldn't go to school, so they can't tell their stories or they can't go to nobody
Yeah.
because they're stuck in the house with everybody else.
And I even heard too that, during when school was on Zoom, a lot of homes kept the screen off because they didn't want the teachers to see what was going on.
You don't want them to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Same thing at school. They don't want them to see. You only see what they want you to know. So you don't know what's going on. So yeah, and a lot of kids didn't show up like they were supposed to, or they get on, grades were dropping. So you have the arguments and all the abuse and other things. And you also had the kids not eating like they needed to. And it was a lot.
Is it pretty, are there a lot of cases in this area compared to others or similar?
I think every area has a lot. And they're probably all about equal. Just if you're gonna tell it, everybody don't tell.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of places that just say hush to it because they're not verbally telling people.
Why though?
They're human.
I know, but beyond the human part,
They're embarrassed. So they're human. So it's those things that I don't want people to know. I don't want people to know that they're going through things. I don't want people to know that, you know what I'm saying, that they've been beaten, or they don't want to know that they need these things.
Yeah.
So they just don't tell anybody. So some people will sit there and starve to death before they tell anybody that they're hungry.
And what happens to the kids if they're in a situation like that?
Some get depressed. Some get mad and angry. Grades start to go down.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them survive great.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on each individual person.
Do they stay with one of their parents if it's like said parent, or what if it's two parents? I mean, what happens?
It just depends. Every case is different.
Yeah.
You have some that will stay with the mom. Depends on what's going on. If it's vice versa, they may end up with the dad, or they could end up with a family member, and they might just end up with a friend or a state could take them. It just depends on what's going on and how bad it is. Some people die from it, so you don't know what the situation is.
Yeah. I'm watching that show Made. I started talking to you about it, and it's so powerful, you know, about what she goes through and as a victim and how she escapes. And, you know, I think it's just raising more awareness in general. Yeah.
You have to kind of put it out there to people and do as much as you can. Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's like an untold story. People don't want to tell it. Yeah. And a lot of people don't want to say that they do it. So we do these events and have people come out, but probably like 1 in 10 is not going to tell you that I'm being abused.
Yeah. I was ashamed for years until finally one of my friends said, tell your story. It's empowering. Yeah. And now I don't care, you know, but it took me a while.
It took you a while. And it's still, and some people, it goes back to how you're going to feel. Mm-hmm. You might have to relive that. And some people just don't, when it's over, they don't want to relive it anymore.
Yeah, no, it's true. Depending on how. Yeah.
And then some people's story could help somebody else. Mm-hmm. So it just, like I said, it depends on each person. Yeah. And you don't know how strong of a hold it had on them. Mm-hmm. And they could be still dealing with it themselves.
Mm-hmm. Could be. Yeah, definitely. So what else are you doing? Are you doing anything special in October
So we stay really busy. But yes.
Very, yes.
So we're always doing something. But October is Domestic Violence Month. So we are doing a luncheon on Saturday. It's a free luncheon. We normally would do our gala in October, but we decided to do something a little different. So we're doing a luncheon called Harvesting the True You. So it's a free luncheon, so anyone can come out and just be a part. We have speakers, we have performers, and it's just like uplifting. So I have a lady or two telling their stories, and just to come out and bring awareness. We have information packets and people that you can talk to and just kind of just hear about it.
Yeah. And I mean, if somebody wants to come, where can they find it?
They can go on social media. We'll be at the Prince Hall Masonic Lodge. Lunch is at 12. It runs from 12 to 3, so we'll be there. So they can come out and enjoy.
And do you need, donations for it, or?
Honestly, I did not want anything for this. I just wanted them to know about it. Mm-hmm. If people can donate when they come, if they choose they want to donate to it, it's how the Spirit leads you. Okay. If you feel like you want to be able to give into it, sow into it. If you don't, enjoy it and keep it moving.
Yeah, and then beyond that, what else happens?
Hopefully somebody will be blessed with it. Mm-hmm. 110 or 100 is I always tell my team, somebody will need it. Yeah. But after that, we will go into our next events, which will be holiday Christmas, and we have another event coming up right behind it, November 20th. So
for Thanksgiving?
Well, November 20th is going to be a vendors pop-up event. Okay. But it's going to also be a toy drive. So people can bring in toys and come in or whatever for that day. It's free, but they can come in and shop with different vendors in the area, and then they can donate toys that will go toward the Christmas or holiday giving. Yeah. And then that evening, we're doing a Motown Get Down. So if you are performer or like to lip sync or like to have fun, it's our fundraiser. That's our fundraiser day. That's really like the only other fundraiser we've done this year, other than we did a car show about a couple months ago. Okay. So car show. Yeah, we do. We try to do a little bit of everything. Yeah. So it kind of, we shift and move.
And especially too, because you're getting different demographics
and
too.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to be a part. I don't want it to be nobody we don't touch or see. So we gotta get everybody involved.
And how far do you stretch, to assist people? Do you go, do you have a range or a region, or is it all of Virginia?
So we are District 16, which is Fredericksburg, Spotsylvania, Stafford, Caroline, King George. I'm from Caroline County, so I do a lot for Caroline. And then Fredericksburg is where I do my salon used to be, so we did a lot of stuff out of that area.
Okay.
So, but yeah, we reach wherever, and if they call to say they need it, if we can help, we help. If we can't, we'll see if we can find somebody that can.
Yeah, and do you still do hair now?
I do.
Do you still hear a lot of stories?
I still hear stories.
I always say that the hairdresser is like the best therapist.
The hairdresser is the therapist, the mother, the auntie. We do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Do you still have people come in and do you hear about victims through your
Not
salon?
as much because with COVID we moved to a smaller space, but we also don't have as many clients that come in like we normally would do. And I don't take as many as I used to because I have been really 100% into the nonprofit.
Yeah.
So that we can, our goal is to try to get us center. So that's our goal, is to try to really focus on that. So that's my goal right now.
And do you have something specific just for the youth that you serve?
Yeah, we have a youth group called Fire. Fire is the amazing group. Those are mostly young teenagers. And they are like my eyes and ears of the kids of the community. So they kind of help out to do different things. So, yeah.
What do they help out doing?
They come to each event. They're involved in everything that we do. But they also help us with, we were supposed to be starting a nightlife for kids so that kids have a safe place to go hang out, tell their stories, or whatever they want to be able to do. We always feed the kids. We feed everybody. So make sure they are eating, and as well as getting the things that they need, and having that person that they can see all the time. Yeah. It's just building consistency with them and being honest with them.
And does FIRE stand for something?
Yes, Fire is fearless, inspired, responsible, and empowered. So we're trying to build leaders out of our kids.
Yeah. And when did that start?
Fire started probably about 2 years after we started Unmasked. Okay. My son, he'll be 21 in a couple of weeks, but he was going through some different things too, along with some of his friends. So we just started to build a space for them. And that ended up being 5 kids to 10 kids to 20 kids to, they kind of move in and out. And the kids that are now in college or grown and got out of school are still involved. So they just move up. We never have a place where they have to leave. Yeah. So you just kind of move to the next step. You just kind of, wherever you fit in, fall in.
Yeah. It's a human thing. Yeah.
We just kind of keep everybody. And the only thing we ask is to pay it forward and give it back.
Yeah. And if somebody wants to donate, or a company, they just go to your website and
they can go to our website. We have a new website that'll be coming, being revamped, but it's still there, which is unmaskeduplifts.org. Or they can go to our Facebook page, or they can reach you.
They can. Do you have, this year you're doing X amount of events. Does it change next year? Will you do the same events? Do you do more?
It depends on what's going on. To be determined. Yeah. We have some back to school events consistent. Our holiday giving is consistent. We have our Inspiring Women's event that we try to do around Mother's Day time. We try to do something for our men. Like this year we did In the Midst of a King. So we just try to put it to where everybody has a place. We try to find something for everybody. So. And
this all began because of that one client?
It pushed it further, but we were already doing stuff prior. So yeah, we was already giving back behind the scenes. Yeah. It would just be me, and I'd go kids' hair for free and do the ladies' hair for free. But then her sitting in my chair and me seeing her go through all of that. We just, like I said, we could do more.
What led you to be so giving, You don't find a lot of people like you.
I'm all right. My family, that's what we do. Yeah. So, yeah.
So you grew up with that?
We grew up always being able to give, always being able to help the next person. So that's just what we do. Yeah. So.
And does it, do you get a satisfaction from it? Do you just...
It's, the satisfaction is seeing the kids smile. Or seeing the lady being able to breathe, or showing us, just making people smile. Yeah. It's a lot, because it shows a lot. Yeah. So we always tell people, when you unmask all of that off.
Is that how it started?
Yeah, because my salon, my thing is always, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah. And then when Crystal makes it perfectly clear. But so we took my name off of it. But it went through that, and then we just started using Unmasked because, like I said, once you uncover all of them different things, it's you. It's the true you. So true you is also a part of our slogan, harvesting the true you.
It's so hard to find that person. We all go through different things.
Yeah. When you start to pulling that stuff off, she comes, or he comes. Yeah. It just takes a little time. But you have to be willing to start to pull that back. Yeah. And it's not trusting the next person. You just have to trust yourself. Yeah. And then have that faith to be able to go to the next step.
Did you ever have a personal experience where you had to unmask yourself?
I'm not going to say a personal to unmask myself. I think I just had to find where I was going. Okay. Doing so many different things and always ripping and running. I just had to figure out what was going to be. I didn't think Unmasked was going to be it.
Yeah. What do you think it was going to be?
I was supposed to be, hair, like fashion shows and photo shoots. That was it.
Yeah.
That's what I knew.
Yeah.
And yeah, that flipped and changed like quick.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean, I knew we was given, but I never thought Unmasked was going to be Unmasked. But
It's almost like it was meant to be. You know, she sat in your chair, and here you are today.
Yeah. Like I said, I think it was always there. As we went through and this lady did this mind map thing, I've always did it. I used to bring kids into my mom's house and when they was going through different things. So I've always did it. I just didn't think Unmasked was going to fall for it. It was just something that we did to help out that kid. Or sneaking them in my house and dealing with stopping her at the door, telling me, I got something to tell you. And I have like a girl and her kid downstairs or anything like that. But yeah, our house was always like the safe space.
Yeah. It's interesting though, you know, through my journey, I've done a lot of soul searching, and I am a big believer in everything happens for a reason, and each step leads you to where you are today. You know, it's certain things that I did in my past, you know, were so similar to what I do today in my job, and I love it. And it's like, how did I not see that vision then? Yeah, you know, same with you, you know?
Yeah, we always did hair, but it was always letting people turn around and see that expression on them. And you talking to them, so we do hair, but you're not just building the hair. It's that confidence that you give them. It's giving them that look of enjoyment and satisfaction of who they really are. Yeah. So as you're dealing with them in that chair, you're talking to them, you're learning them. Mm-hmm. So it's the same thing that I do now. Mm-hmm. You talk to them and you learn them. Yeah. And everybody's different, so you learn each person. Nobody's the same. Yeah. So you learn their stories and you work their styles around them, just like you learn these situations. They all need something different.
Is one of the counties in your district, I mean, does Caroline have more cases, or are they all about the same?
I think they're all, again, about the same. Uh-huh. I just think that everybody don't tell. Yeah. So I know Fredericksburg has a lot. Spotsylvania has a lot. Caroline has some. Mm-hmm. I mean, 1, 10, or 100. 1 is a lot.
1 is a lot.
So that's enough.
Yeah.
So, you know, every area is different. But 1 is enough.
And what happens on the other side? You know, when somebody reports something, is it easy to, I mean, I'm sure it's not easy, but is it, I'll just spill it out there.
Yeah, just go for it.
Yeah, I know. When I went through what I went through, it was not easy reporting it. Is it still difficult? I mean, that was ages ago.
I believe that it's still difficult. I think it's difficult on both ends because you don't know what's really going on. And with anything in life, it's always 3 sides. Yeah. Your side, their side,
and the real, yeah.
So you have to kind of figure out, with you being the law and the people that's helping with the situations, you have to kind of figure it out. Mm-hmm. But you also have to be able to sit there and listen. Mm-hmm. If you're not going to sit there and listen to what they're saying, it's going to be hard to figure out anyway. Mm-hmm. And most of the people, the victims are thinking, or the humans are thinking that they're not going to listen to me anyway. Mm-hmm. Because you're going to think that it's my fault. Mm-hmm. You're going to think that it has something to do with you, or you could have did it differently, or what did you do to make it happen? That's not necessarily true. Yeah. So, again, it just depends on each person. Mm-hmm. So they just have to trust themselves.
Are there still a lot of stipulations? I know when I reported, there were a lot of, there was certain criteria that it had to meet to make it a valid complaint.
Yes, I'm sure there's still a lot of, we don't get into the police part of it. Mm-hmm. But from what we see, it's still a lot of things that you have to be able to prove, or your lawyer has to prove, or, you know what I'm saying? But that's when you start to, I don't want to do it anymore. Yeah. Because they get so frustrated of thinking that they're not going to believe them, but it's just a lot of, everything's paperwork. Mm-hmm. Everything's paperwork, but you have to stay consistent to it. Mm-hmm. If you want out and you want it to change differently, you have to figure out how to make it work. Mm-hmm. But that's where they, I don't want to do it. It's too much. I got kids. I got this. I got that. Mm-hmm. And it just, sometimes it's just not worth it.
Yeah. Sometimes. Yeah. Yeah. And you see a lot of, humans going back too. Yeah.
Because they think that's what they know. Yeah. They think that's what they know. And then most of the time it goes to when you hold things over their head, or you start to take control of their finances, or you try to take control of things in their house, or you use the kids to kind of teeter-totter them over to do different things. So it just kind of, again, like I said, you're going to have to find the truth in yourself, because you're going to have to be strong for you and your kids. Yeah. To figure out what's going to be the best for you.
Do you know why October is the awareness month? Or is it just because?
I don't know. It's always been, as far as I know, as well as breast cancer. I think we just have so many different things. Yeah. So, October is pretty busy for a lot of stuff.
Do you give back to breast cancer as well?
We do. Again, clients that are breast cancer survivors. So, yeah, we try to give back or do different things. Hair and makeup is what we do. So we used to do a lot of photo shoots for both. Offer photo shoots for ladies that are going through it. And just to kind of give them that experience of beauty. Yeah. So I use hair for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
What else do you use hair for?
It's therapy. It's people say it's work, but to go out and do different things, it just makes it, for me, it's I love what I do.
Do you specialize in like a certain type of hair, like curly or straight or anything?
No, I do all hair. I love hair care. I love healthy hair. So I try to do all of that, but I love creative. I like to create different looks. I like to go over the top with different things. That's with anything that I do. I like to create. So, yeah, anything. So cool. Now, that creative part, that's my downtime. Probably more work, but for me, that's my downtime.
Self-care.
Yeah, it puts me in a different space to be able to create different looks and different sets and scenes.
And how do you, is that also where you can like process certain things that you've heard or seen or? Yeah,
you can.
Yeah.
It's just that's my outlet.
Yeah.
So everybody has something that they do that they love that kind of decompress what I was going. I like to do the over the top stuff.
And do you have more than one outlet, or is that your?
That's really about it. Yeah, I stay busy, so I don't have a lot of outlets, but that is one. Trying to learn the vacation, haven't had those, so
I don't know what that is anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't me neither.
Not during
when
COVID,
you find out, let me know. It's way before COVID, but no, I don't have another outlet. That's really about it. I stay consistent. I'm focused on trying to get what we need for the organization, and all I see is the center. Yeah. So that's like tunnel vision.
And how does somebody get involved if they want to become a part of the organization?
They just reach out. They can contact us through phone number. My cell is everywhere. So you can contact me personally. You can, again, go through the website or go through the page.
So people can just volunteer?
You can volunteer. You can donate. You can sponsor. You can be a part of anything that we're doing. When it comes to the kids, then we do have like paperwork that you have to kind of go through because our kids' safety is always going to be first.
Of course.
If they're speakers and they want to tell their story or they want to be able to help our kids or any type of way, then we just find out where you fit like you can find your space and where you fit in at.
Everybody has something different.
Everybody has something they can get.
Yeah.
So it's not like one person. Everybody has something.
Yeah. Do you even have kids that, like the teens? Do they not just serve, but do they also speak?
They speak. They help. They cook. They clean. Yeah, they set up their own projects. Yes, they are leaders.
Yeah.
So you guide them to be a leader. Let them lead it.
I love that. And then they just go on living their life like that.
And they go forward just like that. And they build those relationships because the relationships that I have with people, if they're there, they build the same relationships. It's up to them to do it. I'm not going to make you and I'm not going to push it on you. But I put it there and then it's up to you to speak and open that up. All you have to do is speak.
Yeah. Has there been a time where you've told someone they should do something and you've seen them not do it and just the heartbreak?
You do. But again, everybody's different. I can't make you do it.
You can't.
I was that kid, so
if
I wasn't going to do it, I wasn't going to do it. I just had to learn the hard way. So I tried to.
And it doesn't always happen.
It doesn't always happen. And so for me, I had to learn differently. If I did it, I've always been accountable. I did it. My mother always said, be accountable for your mess.
Yeah.
I was accountable. I did it. I had to figure it out. So she helped me. She guided me, but I still had to go do the work for it. So you have to be accountable.
And so you mentioned like Hope House and Empower House or others. Is that where like you bring donations to, or do you set them up to help them find housing and then you provide the extra?
So we don't help them find housing.
Okay.
Say like, so if someone needs housing, then we can say, hey, Hope House is here, Empower House is here. We don't house no one.
Right.
So we basically just kind of help you or guide you in that direction if necessary. So our biggest thing that we do right now is just help with day-to-day needs.
Okay.
So clothes, shoes, hygiene items. Like I said, we have people on our team that help with resumes. We have people that can help you learn to do everything. I kind of got stuck, so it's like a brain freeze. But they help you in all different ways. We help you like to do like the hair, the makeup, get you dressed for work, help you do your interviews and stuff like that. So we have people that can help you, guide you. We have people that help with your finances, help with how you build your credit. We know people that do all of these things, so we try to put them in those places.
So how does somebody contact you and say, I need this service, I need this help?
They just reach out or call, or
They
they
do?
see us at events, or they
Okay.
see us. I go to them a lot of
Mhm.
times, so I go to these locations and I'm always feeding there, so you can come talk to me, and I talk to everybody. So and our team is there, so they talk to people. So I don't go nowhere by myself. So our team is there, and they're in shirts, so you know who to go talk to.
Yeah. So like
And-
at the homeless shelter, if
Yeah.
you see someone.
Go talk to them.
Yeah.
And our team makes it a way to go talk to you.
Mhm.
We always have somebody coming in and going out, so someone is always there. So somebody's always speaking to you.
Mhm.
So not speaking at you, but they speak to you and they talk to you.
Yeah, they do.
So-
And people are, I feel like some people will just start talking and tell their story.
Yeah.
Especially if they've been out of it, but others.
Yeah, and we do a lot of food, so get a lot of conversations when people are eating.
It's true. It's true. I'm Italian, so,
Yeah, and
we talk.
we do like a lot
and
of home,
coffee.
and we don't do like just regular meals. We do like home cooked meals, so they eat. So as they're eating, they're getting full, but
Yeah.
they're talking.
Yeah.
Because our people sit and they have conversations. So our team will take the time to go and talk to you.
Mhm.
And so everybody, it becomes like family. So they see them.
Mhm.
And then you see them all the time. So it makes it consistent. And then it makes it easy. They get
Easy
that
to
comfort.
open up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite thing you cook or?
I just cook. I just like to cook.
Yeah.
I like to cook too. So
Yeah.
we do everything.
But food's always, such a great way to bring people together.
So that's what try to helps them out. But they don't get it. Especially like our hotel families. You can't cook a hot meal in a hotel besides eating in the
No,
microwave.
you can't. Yeah.
So to feed them, they get these hot meals. Like
Yeah.
they get to eat.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hopefully it helps them feel like at home on a different level, though.
Yeah. They get that comfort.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like I said, they see you. You sitting there and be able to eat. COVID is a little bit harder, so you have to do it in the plates and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we still feed them. They still can be out there. We still out there. So they still
Yeah.
get to be a part of that.
Do you have to do like temperature checks or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm the germaphobe. So yeah, my team has to be doubled up in masks, gloves. I keep sanitizer, and I do spray the air while we're around. I even spray it outside. I'm that person. So
I know some people like that. It's okay.
So I think you was at the event when I sprayed in the air.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
We have a
So-
team member at UMFest that when this happened, she was spraying everywhere, and she's a blessing. But
Yeah, I even spray myself and be like, shh, it's okay. But
got me doing it,
it just makes it comfortable. But yeah, just to make sure that everybody's safe.
Yeah.
COVID tried to stop a lot of things, but life doesn't stop because of
No,
COVID.
and it can't, especially not during something like this.
Yeah, so you have to kind of keep going forward and figure out what's gonna be the best.
Yeah.
So we
And
just try to-
especially too if there's more victims coming in, because they are
Mhm.
trapped.
they are trapped.
Yeah.
So and then sometimes they come out like when we're at these events, so you do see them. I had a lot of people telling us their story at events. So they, hey, I used to be such and such, and then it goes to a whole nother story.
Yeah,
So you don't know,
you don't.
but if you don't take the time to talk to people, you don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you just gotta speak, and once you start speaking, it just kind of flows out.
Mm-hmm. People always make fun of me because I'll go up and talk to anybody.
Yeah.
I'll be at the grocery store and I'll be like, "Oh, I love your shoes. Where'd you get
Yeah.
those? How's your day?" Have a whole conversation. Never get out of the grocery store for another 3
For another
hours.
hour.
But you gotta just enjoy life
Yeah.
and get to know people and have those conversations.
Because you don't know
Just
what that
never
person
know.
is going through.
No, and you never know who you're gonna meet either.
And that you don't.
Yeah.
And you don't know. I mean, speaking to some people is just, they just need that because you don't know where their mindset is right
No.
there. You don't know what they could have been going through at home, and you just speaking to say, hey, how you doing today?
Mhm.
Means a lot. And it's free.
Yeah, it
It don't cost nobody nothing.
No.
It's free.
Yeah,
So
and everybody's going through something. So
everybody's
a
going
nice smile and a hello means
It's-
a lot to a lot of people.
means a lot.
Mhm.
Just that easiness.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I always ask, and on every podcast, and this I think you're gonna nail, because I already know the answer.
Okay, let's see what you got.
But we value at UMFS our teens, our youth, our families, our staff, the community as being unwavering champions. How are you an unwavering champion?
So what's your
Because
answer?
you are.
Yeah, what's your answer?
No, it's gotta come from your heart. It's gotta come from your gut.
An unwavering champion. Man, I missed that question. I can always say I put God first, and I have a team. So I do nothing by myself. So for me, I just feel consistency is key for everything. Consistency, building them relationships with any and everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And never leave stuff unbroken. Try to make sure that you are consistent talking to people, consistent reaching out to the ladies or the kids, and just making sure that you can be there when you can.
Mm-hmm.
Just never just leave and not show back up.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try to keep building, try to be this unwavering champion.
You are an unwavering champion.
I wasn't ready for that question. So,
I've never met somebody more giving than you. I mean, you are absolutely incredible at everything you do.
Oh,
you serve with so much passion and so much heart. I mean, I follow you on Facebook, not just because I adore you, but also because I'm like, wow, how does she do it all? Like, you are an incredible champion, and the community is so lucky to have you. I mean, if you didn't start this, where would everybody go?
Somebody would have been doing something.
I don't know.
Everybody has a place.
This was your purpose.
Yeah, this was given to me. So I take it and I do what I can with it.
Yeah.
So again, I do my part.
Yeah.
I'm not asking to do nothing no different, and again, I don't do nothing by myself.
Yeah.
So.
Do you all talk about like the 1-800 hotline or anything like that? If there's certain people that
I try to send people to Empower House. They're really good people. People say different things, but they have to understand that COVID has put a lot of damper on a lot of different places, so it's harder to sometimes get through. So it makes it difficult. Mm-hmm. So they are there. They do answer. Mm-hmm. I get it. It's an emergency. Try to be patient with trying to get through, because again, just leave your name and number at the Empower House hotline number, or call a different hotline, or call the police station. But COVID has shut a lot of places down, and it cut a lot of businesses back. So everybody's looking for somebody. Mm-hmm. So just stay doing it. Yeah. Reach out, tell your neighbor. If you can't reach Empower House, call a neighbor, call a friend.
Yeah.
Call somebody, tell somebody else, so they can at least know what's going on with you. But just try to make sure that you're reaching back out, because somebody will help you somewhere. Yeah. So just don't give up on that, and don't give up on yourself.
Yeah. Do you guys have a anonymous number or anything like that?
That's our plan, is to get one. Yeah. I have like 50 things that we do, so I'm trying to make sure that we're not all over the place. Trying to make sure my foundation is completely solid. But we do have numbers, and if you want, call my phone. It's always beside me. I answer it. I got like 2. So just call it, and
it's on
I'll
all
try
your pamphlets and things. Yeah.
And you can always send your number to a different place, or I'll call them. Yeah. So.
Well, Crystal, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Just to reiterate, if anyone wants to find you, they can call you on your phone. They can look at your website. They can find you on Facebook.
Yeah, they can do any of those. So Facebook is Unmasked Inc. On website is unmaskeduplifts.org. Contact number 540-455-3911. You can call that, or you can call Miss Angela.
Thank you.
But I appreciate y'all for having me.
You're helping a lot of people, so I appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to help giving back too.
I appreciate it. So come on through. If anyone's available on Saturday, come out to our luncheon. It's free.
That'd be great.
And you can get information. If not, we always have something going on. Mm-hmm. Calendar should be up, because I changed some things. So they can follow that as well.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, Crystal. Again, this is Angela Rivers with Fredericksburg Mission. Of course, if you'd like to learn more about becoming a foster parent, please visit www.umfs.org/foster. See you next time. Thank you for joining us. I'm Angela Rivers with Fredericksburg Mission. Tune in at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere you listen to your podcast. Join us again next week for our next episode.
How do you shorten the time it takes to buy a car? Car buying just got easier. Pohanka365.com lets you complete as much or as little of the car buying process online. Pohanka365.com. Car buying simplified. Anytime, anywhere.